Hello, everyone that's watching. Thank you for joining me. This is Usman Sise, CEO and owner of GAM Properties. And my video today is going to be about location. Uh, I had a conversation with a lady, I'm not going to give name, of course, a lady who lives here in the United States. She lives in, I believe, Maryland, Washington, D.C. area, if you are familiar with the U.S. And she was talking about how land is cheaper in some areas of the Gambia and expensive in other areas of the Gambia. So that prompted me to, of course, do this video and to tell people that, especially those who live in the US, and I'm quite sure it's the same thing for those that live in Europe as well. Whenever you are buying land, the biggest issue and the number one priority, of course, that I know of in the US here is location. So the same thing applies in the Gambia. So in the Gambia, for instance, if you are buying land and you live in the US, it behooves you to investigate what the location is and what is your plans when you go to Gambia. Because if your plans are to go to Gambia and be able to go out and eat and dine in some of the restaurants that have Western cuisines, and also to be going to nightclubs and bars and restaurants, and to be going to Sunday beach, then if you buy land in faraway places like Basori and Jiboro and all these other places, Tubakuta and Katong and Sifo and Kitty, then your commute to get to these places, these attractions, to get to these restaurants, to get to the nightclubs, to get to the tourist areas, to get to the beach, to get to the shopping areas, is gonna be definitely a long commute. And if you look at the price of land and the commute that you're gonna do over time, because once you buy this land, you cannot move the land from one location to the other. The land stays where it is. And that commute over time will definitely add up. Those who know Gambia know that gas and travel fees or fares, travel fares are very, very expensive. And over time, that will definitely not favor you. And another thing that I want to point about buying land from these areas, you have to look at where is the nearest pharmacy, where is the nearest shopping center, where is the nearest hospital. And when I say hospital, I'm talking about the adequate hospital that has capabilities of doing everything that you will need from a medical facility in the Gambia. Of course, it's not going to be like the West, but in the Gambia. So all of those things are concentrated in the Banjul, Serekunda, Senegambia areas, going towards Tanje and sometimes even Sanyang areas. But once you start heading towards these other places like Basori, Jiboro, Tubakuta, then the distance becomes farther and farther away. So that's something that definitely somebody needs to consider when you are buying land in the Gambia. This is something that I just happened to talk to this lady about, the lady that lives in Washington. And I say, you know what, why don't I put a video on this? And another evidence that, these places, if you buy land from these faraway places, you will be in the land of you will be in a land that's not near to any attraction, is the fact that the big companies that do real estate in the Gambia, and I'm not going to name them, pretty much everybody should know that by now, they are not building any estates in these places. They are not building estates there. You will hear Sanyang Seaview Estate from one of the big companies in the Gambia. You will hear them talking about the Bruce B estate. You will hear them talk about Paradise Estate, Dalaba Estate in the Jabang area. So you will hear all of those things, but because all of those places have all these amenities I'm talking about, they are close to restaurants, they are close to grocery stores or supermarkets as they call them in the Gambia, and they are also close to the tourist attractions in the Gambia. And that's why these big companies are building all of their estates in this area. I'm not gonna say they don't have land in these faraway areas. It's a possibility, but if they do, I have been to Gambia this past December. I was there December 2020 to January, middle of January 2021. And I also went back in middle of February of 2021, and I came back, I went back end of February of 2021, and I came back middle of March 2021. And I drove extensively in those areas, and I did not see any sign board, which usually these companies will put down their signboards that they are building estates or they own properties in those areas. So just be on the lookout, you know what I mean? It's not just price that you should be looking for when you are buying properties in Gambia. You should be looking for price. Of course, it's important, but you should also be wary of location. And another thing I want to point out is these faraway places. You can get land and be able to, if you go back to the Gambia and you are from the West and your plans are to go and either do business or walk, you have to think about, if you do business in those villages, you know what I mean, I will strongly advise that you do your homework, of course, and see what kind of business you are putting up there, because it's gonna be hard to conduct a lot of businesses in those areas. Very few businesses you can conduct in those areas and be and have the ability to be successful. And the only business that I can think of in those areas is agriculture. And most people, the amount of land they are buying, 20 by 20, 20 by 40, I don't think is big enough to be able to put together an agricultural scale that will be profitable to sustain you to live comfortably in those areas. I will show you that when I was in Gambia just this past February, end of February to middle of February, I'm mixing things up now, end of February to middle of March, I bought a 150 meters by 200 meters in Jiboro. I can demarcate that land and sell it very cheap, but I will not be telling you the truth if I tell you that's close to the attractions. It's very far from the attractions, and if you go live there, I can say that, you know what I mean, I cannot guarantee it, but I can say with certainty it's gonna be a long time, maybe a lifetime, maybe many lifetimes before you see real development in those areas to be able to get up and drive short distance and go to a nice restaurant, drive a short distance and go to a pharmacy, drive short distance and go to a major hospital with all capabilities that you will expect from a high-class hospital in the Gambia. And also it's gonna be far away from many shops, and when I say shops, I'm talking about high scale shops, and far away from bars and restaurants. So this is just an advice that I want to give to people. So without delaying, I will show the people proof that I bought a land for our company, GAM Properties, in Jiboro, measuring 200 meters by 150 meters. So I'm just going to cover the names here because I don't want to show the names. This is showing transfer of land, of course, and it's in Jiboro. All right, I will just go ahead and cover here and show that it's showing that the land is transferred to GAM Properties, and it's showing the measurements. Hopefully it's visible. Okay, so That's my take on it. If you are buying land anywhere in the world, location, location, location. If you are buying a land in Basori, Jiboro, Mandua, Tubakuta, Marakisa, Kiti, Sifo, Gunjur, all of these places you should be looking at how much am I paying and what's the land cost in the other areas closer to Senegambia, as close as you can get without paying too much. Of course, if you want to be in the Senegambia area, land prices there are outrageously high. I have seen as high as plot of land 20 by 20 for 4 million, 3 millions. And a Kololi, you will see anywhere from 1.5 million to 2 million, even upwards for 20 by 20. And when you get to Tanje, Tujereng areas, you will see somewhere around 300,000, 400,000, 450, 500,000. Once you get into Sanyang, you will start seeing around 250 to 300, 350. So you have to look at what your budget is and what you are willing to pay. But also, I just want to advise you, always think about location, location, location. It's very important. If you don't consider location today, you will buy this land and go to the Gambia someday, and it could be a big regret down the road. I'm not even talking about floods, and I will put a video about floods and why you should be wary of land in a lot of these rural areas, because some of these lands can be big time flood risks, and that is another big situation nobody wants to find themselves in. With that, I will say thank you. Hopefully this video is helpful. We are putting this video just to give people advice, and not advice per se, but just to give them information and facts about land in the Gambia. Thank you. Until next time. Bye-bye.